Monza for us has always been quite tricky, even in our dominant years. But I think the whole weekend, we were more or less there. I would say 2 tenths off, maybe 3 tenths off, but we kept improving. I think every session we made steps forward, and we had a good base, so that's important. And again, in qualifying, tiny things that we changed, but it did give me the confidence to attack a little bit more, could use the rotation of the car a bit more, and that allowed me then, of course, in Q3 especially, like really attacking a bit more. And I'm happy. It's very easy to nail the lap around Monza with the low downforce, and it's easy to lock up on the braking because the car is always moving around quite a bit. But both of my laps are nice. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Yeah, so small.
Good morning, legends. Just waiting for some people to join, and we'll start converting, hopefully, to Revo slots, slot cars to Carrera digital. We've got the right chassis to do so. So hopefully we can do that without an issue. I'm just quickly trying to figure out this little guy. It'll be 2 seconds. Just trying to get all the radio gear positioned right, because it's an absolute mess. I'm just trying to sort out the best way to get this wires in quickly. Where's this one going? There. Okay, I can sort that out later. Good morning, legends. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We've got some soldering to do, which is going to be exciting because I don't know how to solder properly. Let me move Mini Go-Kart Man out the way. We've been working on him lately, so we'll get him out the way, but we're going to convert to... Morning, Bryce. Morning, mates. Hope you're well. We're going to play with some Revo. I've only got a half an hour in me. We've got to go out to the soccer. We've got a big soccer game in town to watch, or football. So I'm just going to get some a quick little streamy done. Quick little streamy. So we did receive a heap of Revo. If you didn't watch my unboxing the other day, thank you if you did. I think we've got over 7,000 views on that live stream. We did receive some new Revos, and I'm going to just drag this back a bit. And we did find out on stream, unfortunately, some of these Revos have gone with the Alpha style chassis, which is the chassis that doesn't allow us to do the digital chip easily. Of course, everything can be converted, but unfortunately, these new Mazdas do have the same chassis as the Alpha, or the similar style. And I'm going to quickly show you what I mean. With this one here, we do have the original Porsche. Yes, we love this Porsche. And this is ready to rock and roll for a digital chip. You can see exactly how easy that's going to be for us to fit it today. With a little bit of soldering, of course. We're going to solder some wires to the motor and to the braid. But you can see straight away that we've got the switch. I won't call it the analog digital switch because that's not what it is. And we've got the sensor hole, which I'm kind of confused. I don't know. Well, I'm not really that confused. Let me quickly just line this up. I can see why they've done it. It is a smaller chassis. I'll be interested to see if the bigger chassis... What do you have here? Hello, mate. We're just going to convert a couple of... a 124 and a 132 Revo to digital, Carrera digital. But I'm just showing off the chassis and the reason why the new one... When I say new, it's not new, but the new car won't allow the digital chip because the chip is wider than the chassis. So with a little bit of investigation, a little bit of trial and error, I figured out why. It wasn't very hard. But that's the only reason why you can't do a quick and easy, simple conversion for that chassis itself. So I'm going to undo the Porsche and we'll get into that. Again, I haven't got long. I've only got half an hour, so I thought I'd do this live. I will probably try and get a video out doing this. I've been really busy, so I do apologise. There's been a lot of busyness behind the scenes, which is why I haven't had much YouTube action happening. Actually, I haven't had much TikTok either. I've been trying to go live on TikTok, but it's just been crazy busy. And today we've got a big game on in town, so we're going to go to that with the sun. So let's get the chassis off. Now, there shouldn't have to be too much damage done. What I mean by that is, compared to me trying to convert another car, another brand, we had a crack at NSRs, and that was, I'm not going to go any further with the NSR one because it's a bit too much of a conversion to do. But if we take a quick look at this one, you're going to see how easily, I'm not going to say it's going to fit smug, but because these chips are disgusting. Like, I mean, the design of them are old school, but we are going to still be hitting or resting on this little section here. You're going to see the sensor is going to be probably not blocked, but will be very close to this grab or this screw. Hold on, as I get bitten by it. So let's get that in there. Yeah, you can see it's so close. Shish, that is really close. But that doesn't matter, that's okay. So let me just peel those back and I'll quickly show you. So there you go, the chip fits really nicely. For a car that's sort of designed, I mean, to have the chip, it does sit pretty damn clean, which is what we want to see. The next step I want to do is have a look at the wiring, because of course to wire one of these up, you're going to need the negative and positive on the front of the chip, which is to your braid, and then you're going to need the negative and positive on the rear of your chip, which is going to go to this message was held for review. What's this one say? Oh, she's tight. Show. I think that's okay. I don't think YouTube's been holding a lot of messages back. Yeah, she's a little bit tight. She's a little bit tight. But look, it's been designed to do it. They've done this chassis to take a chip. But of course, it's probably going to play around with some of your setups. If you are trying to get a bit of float between the two parts of the chassis, of course, we are sitting so close, it's going to be pushing down on the chassis. So it might affect your tuning, not too sure. But let's just do it anyways. Let's have a quick look at what's happening here. I might have to cut these completely in half. That's what I don't want to do, but I'm going to have to do that. I think the easiest way for me to get out of this without doing too much damage, let me fire up the dangerous part of this because I'm not a good solder. Let's get the soldering iron cranking. I hate this part because I am shit. I am shit at soldering, but let's get the soldering iron plugged in so we have some fire. All right. And then we'll rock and roll. So I think my plan of attack, I don't want to change anything at all to this wiring. I want it to go back to stock. So I think if we can get in there, we should be able to get in there. We're going to get rid of the negative positive here on the actual motor. We'll try and unsolder that. And then I'm going to use the black and red onto the front of the chip, and then we'll go directly from the chip to the motor. I think that's the easiest way so we don't... yeah, that got held. Yeah, YouTube's a bit, family friendly, I guess. They try and hold everything. I think the other day I actually had people's comments left, right, and centre being held. I don't know which ones. Where TikTok you can put anything you want. So let me just get these screws out of the way. I actually need to get myself some more magnetic screw trays. All right, we'll wait for that to heat up. I don't know how easy this is going to be to get off because we do have some heat shield, which means it's going to stink. It's really going to stink when I try and get that off. Can I pull it off? Is it one of those slip-ons? Probably not. I mean, the easiest thing would probably be to cut the wire, but I don't want to do that. Let's just melt that plastic away. I think that's the easiest thing. All right, wish me luck. Here goes my fingers. So if I push that down, let's just get... Ooh. And it's a really shit soldering iron too. I'm just going to press in the center, and hopefully we can just melt that plastic. I don't recommend doing this because you're going to wreck your soldering iron. You don't really want plastic on your soldering iron, but I'll have to melt off that plastic cover. So if you've got a really expensive soldering iron, don't do this. Just cut it off. But we will eventually get it off. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, it's coming. So it's going to heat up the underside of the... And that should melt the good old solder. Oh, she's on there. She's on there. She's on there. Here we go, underside. Is it coming off? Oh, it's smoking. This is going to be a lot more pain in the ass than I thought, to be honest, because that rubber shield is stopping us from getting it off. And I'm trying not to damage anything else because everywhere I touch is hot. Here we go. Here we go. That should be one. Oh, she's close. We almost got her then. Is it coming off? Yeah. I'm just going to put the soldering iron down. I'm just going to get my eyes in there and have a look because I want to see if the wire is still attached. It's only just hanging on. Here we go. Yeah, that's one. It'd be easy for me probably just to pull it off, but I don't want to damage anything. All right, I'm going to get back in there. and try and burn this one off. So we've got one off. We're going to have to trim that and fix up the, I'm going to get rid of this rubber coating. So that's it. So beautifully done. We've got that nicely taken away. So we can actually retrim that for the next step. That was a fluke. Let's go on to this one here. It's going to burn the shield. I'm just burning the rubber away. Again, if you've got an expensive soldering iron, probably don't want to cover your tip in rubber. But for me, it's the easiest way to get this off. It will slowly come. Oh, it's hot. It is hot. It will slowly come. Here we go. We're almost there. Almost there. And it's coming. There we go. Gone skis. All right, done. So that's one done. I've stretched a bit of the wire, but that's all right, as long as it's not coming out of the guide. Just double check your guide when you're doing this as well, because you can pull the wire out. That's okay, that's okay. All right, so that's our negative and positive. We have got that separated. So simply now what we need to do is, awkwardly, because I'm not very good at this, do the black and red. So we're going to do black and red. I'm going to attach the chip last. That's going to be probably my last step. Let me just zoom in so you can kind of see the damage that I'm about to do. I want this to be recorded for all times. Just going to quickly get this wire stripped. The old teeth method. All right, so we've got enough wire. There we go. We've got enough wire. Where's my chip going? There it is. All right, so we've got our chip. I'm going to tin off. Is there enough on there? There's enough on there. There's enough on there. Just prepping this chip quickly. It's just stripping the wires, guys. It's a bit boring. I don't want to show that on camera. Once I've got it off, we'll start soldering. So I don't think, I did mention in the other video, so I have to apologise to bloody Revo, because I wasn't happy that we couldn't convert the new RX-7 to digital, but you can clearly see why. The chassis is too small. But in saying that, I did speak the other day on stream. I think it was yesterday. I've been streaming quite a bit on this. I don't know. Just a lot easier to go live than make a video at the moment. But I did mention about can this chip be redesigned? It needs to be redesigned. It has had a redesign before. We have got the dog legs which have been cut off on the newer chips, but I think it needs to go a step further. Now, we won't know which way is going to be negative, positive on the motor until we turn the car on, because that's going to go either backwards or forwards. But let's do what we do know, which is our red to black, red, black. I will not put them the other way, but let's quickly get some solder happening. And this is a really bad soldering iron, so nothing really sticks to it, to be honest. Tinning is a bit tricky with this one. And it doesn't get hot enough. So it's still not heating it up. Come on, got to find the hot spot. It just doesn't want to heat it up. Here we go. All right, that's enough on that. Oh, stinky. Get yourself a decent, that's hot. Get yourself a decent soldering iron, because like me, I'm not very good. I'm honestly not good at soldering, but if you have a really good soldering iron, this one isn't, it makes a bad solderer better. And this one's going to really struggle because it doesn't want to tin off, because I can't control the heat. And again, I'm not a professional. There's heaps better out there that can do this than me. I'm just winging it. Which I recommend, if you've never done it before, just do it. Come on. So the heat it just won't pick up the heat straight away. So I've got to use the shaft, which is bad because it's got oil on it. Here we go. Oh, it's a little bit on there. Come on, heat up. enough on there. Okay, done. So it finds a sweet spot and it's easy to tin. So all I've done there is, again, I get way better connective with plugs within it. Yes, soldering isn't as good as, no, you're correct, mate, you're bang on. If I could, and I can't, but if I could, I would reuse the plugs that were on here. The only reason I'm not doing that, to be honest, is I can't find, I mean, I could find the plugs on like AliExpress, but secondly, if I want to convert this back to analog quickly, I can just desolder. That's why I didn't cut these wires either, because I do want to put these back how they were originally after I've had a bit of fun with it. So no, you are right. If you do want to do this easier and more professional, like with a RC car, you would get the proper clip-ons. Now, in saying that, I think if I've got a car, do I have it here? Slot it, do a really good connector, you can get. These will plug into it. It's a flat style connector. Highly recommend it. I completely agree, mate. You are bang on. But for today's purposes, we just solder on. That's dad joke. Get some. All right, let's get this little bit in here. Now this soldering iron is poo. I am going to try and get a digital adjustable one. So there we go. Got some tinning on that. I don't want to heat up too. You got to be careful with the chip. You don't want to heat up the chip as well. Meaning if I kept too much heat on that wire for so long, you will start heating up the board, and that normally leads to naughty stuff, bad stuff. All right, here we go. The fun part. This is the part that I'm not good at. The finer details. But I'm just going to use my little tiger clip. I don't want to damage anything though. I'm just going to have him on a stand as best I can. Get this soldering iron out of the way. Oh shit. And then we'll just try and hold them together. So, see, that's not getting hot enough to fuse them either. Come on. Come on. It's going to hold them for now, but it's not. That's not a good solder. It's not heating up enough to make them fuse properly. We'll get there though. We'll get it done. It just won't be good. All right, done. Done. Okay, so let's see if they're good. I'm just going to give them a bit of a tug. Yeah, they're good. So normally I would tape them up. I'm not going to do that right now because we want to make sure the chip is going in. So normally I'll tape them up, put a bit of sleeve on, heat the sleeve up, professionally done. If we're going to use this in the racing series, we do have a digital racing. File the ends, gets hotter. Yeah, okay, thank you, mate. Thanks for that tip. So file the end of the tip. Beautiful. Thank you for the tip. I will do that. Follow the end of the tip. Thanks for the tip. I will do that, mate. Cheers for that. I mean, having a clean tip, having a clean tip is obviously a good start, which this one's pretty clean. It is, I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is a €9 soldering iron. So you can see the actual shaft is getting hotter than the tip, which then you know it's a poor quality. But I like that. Thank you for that. I will try that tip. Thanks, man. So we've got our chip sorted on negative and positive. Now we're going to have to figure out, which we'll probably have to take this camera outside in a minute anyways, but let's get the motor done. And we're not going to know because it's not black and red, and I don't remember the order it came off. We've got blue and grey, or purple and grey. We're not going to know which one's negative and positive. Well, you probably could if you look at the board. I think positive is left. So positive is red. So we're going to try left. It looks like it's been marked as purple as positive. It's got a positive plus. I will try and show you that. This might be what it means. There's a lot more people in this chat right now that knows more than me, so please correct me and educate everything like that in the chat. But you'll see a little plus sign here, right there on the board, and that's going to align with our our purple line. So I'm going to try that. We're going to go that as red, that purple is red, and we're going to go grey as black. The only thing that's going to happen is if you put them on back to front, opposite to the guide itself, it's just reversing polarity. It's like if you want to go the other way around the track, that's the quickest way to go backwards on a wood router track. You just swap around the wires if you don't have a reverse polarity switch on the track. So the only thing that would happen if I do this wrong, it will go backwards. Big deal. You know, we're happy with it goes backwards. Just a bit like my life. So we're going to do some tinning again. We've had no great success with tinning so far. That's just flashing off getting this solder that's already in place to cover nicely on the wire. And because it's old stuff and it's such a bad soldering. Look at this. I'm just finding that sweet spot. So, all right. I don't want it to ball up, because if it balls up, you just see it flick off. If you have the solder too much on one end, if it balls up, you are going to probably find that once you start soldering, it starts spitting off. So you want to try and get a nice coverage over the whole entire bit of wire. I'm not great at this, but that's, you know, if you can do it yourself, do it. There we go, that one's done. A little bit more on that one. Yeah, so if you can do this yourself, have a crack at it. I say this hobby is really good for allowing you to make a mistake. And again, I've never been good at soldering. All this kind of stuff is sort of not my forte, but I like trying it and getting worse at it. Not better. Okay, that's good. All right, so we're going to treat purple as red, I think we said. Purple as red. Let's go. Let's get the purple in there. We'll do one at a time. I'm going to split these wires. Split those wires. So purple is red, which is our positive. We'll just get that on there. There's no, this is going to be a bit tricky. Don't burn yourself, Trav. Don't burn the chip. People are watching. No pressure. This video can be snipped and used against you in a court of law. Right, let's go on top. There is a little bit of solder on that motor, but I'm just going to let it rest on top. This is going to be tricky because I reckon the solder on the actual motor doesn't have any flux in it. Come on. Okay, that's on there. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we've got one on. I don't think we've got enough on that bottom motor. Just going to quickly flash that tip. Don't say anything, Castle Racing. Sorry, Goose. Yeah, so you got to be careful with. Oh, no, it's resting. It's resting. Sometimes there's oil on the tips, or your soldering is poor. I've got pretty poor solder and iron, and it doesn't want to stick to everything. Let's see if that stays there. See, it's not flashing off. It is, but just. I don't like that connection. I'm just going to let that sit for a second. Perfect. Done. I'm going to turn this soldering iron off because I don't want to burn down the house. And then we're going to just tape the... sorry, guys. Just tape the good old... Oh, I just want to make sure that's not going to burn down the house because I don't have my rester up yet. All right, so let's have a closer look. Let's get in closer. So... we have got our chip, which is all soldered up. Yes, not very neatly, but we'll sort that out in the future. So we've got our chip soldered up. We've got our motor soldered up. We believe it's the right way around. We checked out the board itself. It does have a little plus sign on the side of the purple. That might mean it's just the positive side of the board. It might mean it's a positive side of, we don't know yet, but I've got a funny feeling that is the positive for electricity going in, which we've chosen the red. So purple is now our red and grey is our black, which is our white dot on the motor. Confusing as hell, but we'll get there. So those two are done. Next step is just doing a dry fit, making sure that we can get everything to sort of spin around because there's going to be wires everywhere. When you do this as a final, I guess I'd call it a final push, then you'll get all these wires in the position that you want. So let's just get him in there and then we're going to tape him down. So that's how he's going to sit. It doesn't sit too well. I mean, it's hitting, oh shit. No, we can get that to sit good. So I'm going to actually tape that down. Realistically, I probably would want to make some kind of 3D printed bracket that goes across these two screw holes. I don't have a 3D printer, but that's what I would probably like to do, is get a 3D printer and get like almost like, let me quickly show you. And I can't do this. I'm just sort of throwing a recommendation out there if you are going to try and do it and you are much smarter than me, which isn't very hard. You can see here with the RC stuff, that's a brace that they've printed to hold down the servo unit, the electronics. That'd be sort of really good if we had one that goes over the top, because the reason I'm saying that is there's a lot of room in the front end of this Porsche. And if you had a 3D printer, you could probably knock something up pretty quick. So in saying that, let's just get this seated and then I'm going to get some tape and we'll take it upstairs. I think we will give this a quick push around the track. But I was going to get some tape quickly. Yeah. And the reason for this little venture is we are going to have some racing soon hosted here at this little house of mine, because we want to do some, we're going to have some scatter trick racing, definitely. I've got some boys lined up. I'm just waiting to get some more mics. That's the hardest part about doing all this, is getting enough mics so you can hear everyone. So I'm getting that all sorted as we speak, just doing some research on what's the best mics that are going to work with my laptop. And once that's all sorted, we will definitely be going racing with a fair few people, which is exciting. So let's just get this into spot. Don't judge me tape down. And I don't recommend tape as a final product, because you will be dragging underneath. Luckily enough that this sits pretty high. You can kind of tell that the wheel clearance from the tape or the deck is a lot better. And if you have a look at these motors on Revos, they actually sit pretty low outside of the chassis itself. So the tape should not scrap. But what it's done now is, as I said before, it's defeated the purpose of this beautiful chassis. We've got a 2-piece aluminium chassis, which is meant to be rocking and rolling. And right now we've just taken that away. So what I'll probably do once I've finished, I will strike through here and just use this section as our, actually I should probably do that. No, I can't, because it's got to be done from above as well. No, don't worry about that. It's going to just alter the chassis for a tick. I just want to see how it works. So that's one side. Let's do the other side. And then we'll go upstairs and we'll put it around the track. I do have 2 cars to do. Maybe we'll do the second car. And I think in the next stream, if I've got enough time, because I don't know if we're going to have enough time to go upstairs and set the track up. But let's just get 2 cars done. So the sensor should be coming through enough. It's not really lined up the best, because we do have a screw right here. I don't know if you can see that on camera. 116 people. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. If you don't mind sharing this, we're doing lots of lives at the moment. Just different stuff we're dealing with. So there we go. We've got that in place. I think that's enough for the sensor. If not, we can adjust that. Once I find the final position, I will probably go out and purchase some of that Velcro double-side tape, and just take off little nibs and then put it so it actually sits high enough above the screw, so then this actual digital chip will be floating. So that's going to be my next thing. I'll go on Monday when it opens up to what's called Obi and buy some of that Velcro raised tape, double-sided, and when we put it down, it will raise it off the chassis. So then the chip should still be effective, but it then gives us back our flexibility of the shell, of the chassis, because this will now ride really, really tough. But that's okay. So Porsche's done. I'm just going to do one more little, I really don't like the way it's taped down, to be honest. But I'm going to quickly tape up. We're going to do a 124 as well, 164. We're going to do a 124 as well, so bear with me. I'll just wrap this one up, and then we'll do the same process to a 124 scale. Just going to give these a little wrappy. There we go, so we don't get any short circuits. How are those guides in the Carrera slot? So across the board, I've never had an issue with any guide on Carrera track. Never had an issue. If anything, they're quieter because a lot of people don't like the noise of the Carrera track. The noise of the Carrera track comes from the guide on a Carrera car. And if you can see with the Revo, they're not going to have much of an issue when it comes to trying to grab and grip. So I have no issue. Do they pop out? No, I don't think if you get it sideways enough, it will flop out, but don't get it sideways. So we're going to move this down as well, because this is now stuffing up our control. So I want that guide to sit straight, and if you can see, it's not, because we've got too much tension on the wire. So it's actually pulling. If I lift this wire higher, just naturally lift it up, you'll see the guide go forward. So we've got to reset that as well before we go driving. Let me see if I can show you that again. So you can see the guide is on a tickle. It may straighten up after we race or drive. I wouldn't rely on that. So just by simply lifting this up, it goes straight on its own. Don't know if you can see that. There's no magic fingers underneath here. It does, and that's because there's no tension now. So we're going to try and find a place to put this that it's not going to stuff around with that. We'll do that later on though. That's fine adjustments. So that is our, I was going to say that's our Carrera. That is our Revo. Let's just put the shell back on. That's another issue. We're going to sort out where everything sits. Beautiful car though. Jesus Christ. I love these cars. I absolutely love Revos. So that sits nicely. Make sure everything spins. You don't want anything binding. You don't want any wires catching. You can see our guide. Our guide will perform. Yeah, the guide will perform under tension. I think we're going to be fine. Hello, Hub. How are you, mate? Hope you're well, bud. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining again, bud. I appreciate it. So let's get out the 124. We do have the new one. Is the new one interchangeable? Let me just quickly check. So if you are just joining, we are converting Revo slots to a Carrera digital chip. I do want to showcase the new cars. We did that 2 lives ago, so thank you. I appreciate everyone who joined that one. That live did really well. I think we had 7,200 views. We did have a look at these beautiful beasts. We got a nice delivery from Revo, but we have discussed about the actual chassis itself, very much like the Alpha. So the big difference between this chassis being the skinnier version is that we've got the older Porsche. It allows you to have a digital chip. You can see the width of that chassis, where with the new ones, this actual model itself, including the Porsche, which I'll show you in a tick. So that one can't be done digital. Let me quickly just show you guys, because these are new cars. If you are buying these with the hope to make them digital, I would say the only digital chip you should purchase for these will be the Carrera F1 chip, because it is smaller. That's our new Porsche, freaking stunning, but that's the same chassis. I mean, realistically, they're running exactly the same chassis. So they can't be done to a digital simply. If you can see, I mean, they're not going to fit. Let me give you a quick dry run here as well. If I put a chip on top, this is the older chip, but nothing really changes other than those shitty little dog legs, but the width is already too wide. So you might have to look at getting yourself a F1 chip, which I think they're smaller, but you can probably turn it on its end, cut some stuff off, which I wouldn't recommend that. But the biggest detail with these chips is they've got to be lined up perfectly with that sensor to work. So remember that. Don't go chopping up your chassis, especially an aluminium one, until you know it's going to fit. So let's move those out the way. But I do want to give you some good news, because although I can't do the Porsche, which is very sad, we all know I love a Porsche, we can do the new Mercedes. So let me just quickly bring that out. We're not going to do that today. Eventually all of these cars will get a digital chip, because we are adding a lot of digital content as well as analog to the channel. So this is the new Mercedes, striking green. I mean, get stuffed. It looks, every time I look at this car, I'm liking it more. At the start, I was like, oh, solid color. It's a real livery. I get it. And now I'm just like, friggin' hell, I love that color. It's a bit of a bluey green. But if you flip it over, we're running the same platform as the Porsche. So any of these bigger cars, physically bigger cars, you can put a digital chip in. There is your switch and there is your sensor light. So these are designed to take a digital chip, which, thank God, because this is a newly released car, they're still continuing that. So I do have to apologize to Revo, because I got angry the other day and said, well, I want to do a digital chip, blah, 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 and I still can't. Sorry, Revo. Sorry, guys. All right, so that one's done. Let's bring in an absolute beauty. I'm going to just raise you guys up a bit. And let's just move, I want to move this out the way because it's going to get a bit messy in a minute. I don't want to lose screws. And whilst I'm talking, we will have, I believe, pre-release, hopefully. I think BRM's trying to get them to me ASAP, because we're now talking 124. This is an old one, sexy looking car. We used it yesterday. Or should I do the Mini? Chat, let me know. Do you want to see this one converted to digital, or do we do the Mini? Or further to that, do we do the brand new Capri? Let me know quickly, chat, and I'll swap the car over. But I haven't reviewed, actually no, sorry, let's just do the GT, because I haven't reviewed the, have I? Hold on. Let's work this out. Let's work this out as adults. Stand by. We won't do the new Capri, because I don't want to. Yeah, the Benz is. The Benz is incredible, mate. The Benz. I don't think they've made a bad car yet. I don't think BRM have made a bad car yet. If you can tell me if they have. Oh yes, I forgot. So we've got 2 choices here. Which one do we convert? Do we go Mini, which is convertible? You can see here we've got the chip ready, very close to that guide. That's very close, which doesn't matter. That's just your polarity switch. Or we can go the big boy, this big sucker, GT40. Okay, he's spoken. The legend has spoken. Hubby, the GT40, mate, we're doing it. Let's do it. So let me just quickly put this Mini away. And I'm going to double check our chip. So I've got a shit ton of these lying around. We have lost the negative and positive. No, we haven't. We've got it. So I've got a shit ton of these. I used to convert cars back before I even did a channel. Mostly fly slot. Don't ask me why, but I was doing a lot of fly slot cars before I had YouTube, I was actually converting a lot of them to digital. And then when I got into YouTube, I stopped really playing with cars and just talking on camera, which takes away a lot of the fun. Hence why we're doing live streams, guys, because we can do a bit of both. So from memory, we've got the good old, we're going star screw here. Oh shit, I forgot they are. So we might need to change tool. We're going with the star head. So let me just grab my toolkit because I forgot they're gonna have that bloody hex, the old, oh here it is here, sorry. You will need to get yourself a nice little hobby screwdriver set, because you will find we've now moved over to BRM, which is obviously sister to Revo, and they've now gone with the beautiful friggin' star-headed. You guys can tell me what that's called because I get it wrong every time. But let's just fit that and see how it looks. Too small. So get yourself a nice little cheap bloody, and don't spend a lot of money. If people tell you have to spend a lot of money to get into this hobby, because the cars we already know are expensive, on your tools, as long as you got some decent tools, you don't have to spend too much on the screwdrivers and that. I mean, this little set here is like a, I don't know, a work zone from friggin' Bunnings. The stuff I do recommend, like Staffs, I'm not sponsored by them, but they do a really good Allen key head, 0.9, and also I use their H1.3 as well. They're really good quality. You can find a lot of this stuff replicated on AliExpress. Don't go spending shit ton of money just on tools, because realistically, it's not hardy. It's not gonna ruin your bloody tools doing this stuff on the slot car. But what I do recommend spending money on, realistically, a good power supply, which I'm waiting on one at the moment, and a good soldering iron, because mine is shocking. So let's take apart our beautiful Ford, which is so good looking. We are so spoiled with slot cars. If anyone complains to me anymore about a slot car, I'm like, shut up. We are so lucky with what brands we have to choose out of. Do you have Hot Wheels? Yes, mate. Yeah, I've got a lot of Hot Wheels, mate. I've got a lot of Hot Wheels. That is one thing I definitely have. I've got over 10,000 upstairs. I've got a lot of Hot Wheels. I've got a lot of Hot Wheels. I've actually got some, whilst you're talking, right next to me, I've got one of the rarest sets that I have, because of course we've moved to Austria, and and I won't be doing Hot Wheels right now. I'll just quickly show you. But right next to me, let me turn this around, just so people can see where I'm working. Right next to me, we have a box. And if everyone doesn't know, Ferrari is back in Hot Wheels world. Ferrari was missing for 10 years, the licensing. And right here is the old school Ferrari stuff, which is worth big money now. Like I'm talking, that box is probably $4,000, maybe more. So yeah, we do have a lot of Hot Wheels in this house, and I still collect daily. I go out hunting for Hot Wheels every day. I mean, F1s is one of my favorite. This is very hard to find. So yes, if you are into Hot Wheels and diecasts, I do all that. Actually, let me give you guys a quick tour of the room, because I haven't showed a lot of you yet, just so you know what we're rocking with. Let me just quickly move out the way. So this is where we're working at the moment. You've all seen the shed in Australia, but this is the space that we're working with at the moment. So this is where I had the track downstairs. This is down the bottom of the apartment. This is the entry. It's an airlock. So out here is where we obviously come in. That's the front door. And I had a track down here, but we've now moved the sim stuff downstairs. The track is outside, but this is where we are doing our little hobby stuff. This little room here. Hey? With lots of Scale Electric stuff. Thank you to Scale Electric. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with them on the channel, and some Carrera stuff. But there's the room. But now let's get back to the video. Can you please send me some Hot Wheels to... No, I don't think I can. If you want to pay for them, yeah. But I don't think I'll be sending you any Hot Wheels, mate. I don't know what where is that? Can you please send me some Hot Wheels to be... I don't know what that is. Now, I do remember, and we're going to have issues with this one. I remember one of these screws from factory, and this is a big oopsies to... Yeah, it was already threaded. Look at that. So let me just quickly go up a size, because I do remember the reason I haven't taken this apart before is because there is an issue. Oh, that's too big. I'm just going to try and find the right size. I don't think, yeah, it is too big. So I'm going to put some tape on my tip. Say that 10 times without getting in trouble, without getting banned. I will pay. Well, what Hot Wheels do you want, mate? Let me know, because I hunt every day. If you want some Hot Wheels, if you are hunting for something in particular, which I've done this many times before for other people, I can find them for you and then get them sent to you. because I know some countries, no, that's not going to work. I know some countries don't get certain Hot Wheels, but I won't be sending my collection willy-nilly because it's taken me years to get it. So let's see if I can get this one off. So this one's okay. So we've got a dud screw. So be careful with that as well. And these brands do make mistakes. I did say before, don't get angry, but yes, they do make mistakes. And I guarantee you, if I message BRM and say, hey guys, can you please check your JD40 chassis because we've got a screw. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be happy to get out. That's not well. They'll probably change. Oh shit! No, it's screwed. She's a screwed. Oh, you can actually see in there it's been damaged from install. So actually, I don't know if you guys can see that, but on the left-hand side there's a flat spot right there, which is why I can't. Superhero wheels car. You have to send me a picture, mate. My email's linked in my description. Send me an email of the picture and I'll see if it's over here. I don't really know what that car is. Are you looking for a super treasure hunt? Is that what you're asking? So I'm going to try and use a flathead to get in there, but I don't think, no. So we've definitely got ourselves a dummy. And the problem with this is, and I'm not happy about this one, is this is going to stop a lot of stuff that we can do with this car because I physically can't get it apart without, you know, an easy out. But you can actually see in there, it's been, g'day Remy, hello mates, g'day from Sydney, hello from Austria, hope you're well bud. I actually can't, I really can't get that out. I'm going to try, let's go oversized. Otherwise, we might have to put a halt on that one, and we'll come back to a 124. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I'm going to double check this. That better not be true. That is a massive size head. I'm not happy with it. If this is the case, I'll email it. Even the screw's got solder on it. Austria. I'm from Australia, mate. From Melbourne, Australia, but I live in Austria. Originally from Australia, mate, but I'm in Europe. They are the same size head. So I'm going to put that one aside because that one's going to go back in the same spot. So that one's going to go back here. I'm going to put that one down there. So let me take, so this might not be as bad. So let's have a quick look inside this beautiful, this is why I freaking love these cars. Look at the anodized blue. We've got nice little rubber grubs. They're going to be like an O-ring that keeps that separation, which will take a lot of vibration. And a lot of this stuff might be wank, but it's not. It's going to take the vibration out of the chassis. I mean, look at that. It just sits so well. So what I'm getting at now is our chip is going to sit a bit higher on this one, which is okay. So I hope the sensor will do its job. It should actually be better this way. Being 120, ooh, what are we striking on? Stand by. Let's have a look. No, that fits well. That fits well good. I know it looks rough at the moment, but that's going to fit well good. So sensor is, ooh, tickle, tickle. That's good. Oh, yep, I already read that one. So there we go. We know that this is going to fit. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go reverse as what we did before. We're going to burn off. I shouldn't be doing it like this. Please don't copy me at home. But let's quickly plug in the soldering iron. We're going to burn off the tips again. I'm only doing that because I've got a shit soldering iron and I can damage it. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care if my soldering iron is damaged because I will get a new one. I recommend wetting down your tip after. It sounds so bad though, isn't it? Everyone, wet down your tip. Oh, that's going to heat up. But this is why I love BRM and Revo. I mean, you're getting a quality car. It actually reminds me of, I haven't had it in my hands. I'm going to try and visit him, but the Nemus built cars because he builds some beautiful 124 scale chassis. His chassis look incredible, but you can kind of see where the brands in the metal direction go, and it brings me back to the old school days, which I was never a part of. And I think Slot Car Hub would know more about this than me. The brass building era where a lot of brass was used to do chassis, and this kind of is our era for the brass built chassis. We've still got metal chassis, which is really cool to see. Anyways, I'm talking too much now. So let's get that one apart. What did Brycey say? These cars are a work. Mate, they are. And that's the beauty of BRM Revo. You kind of, I'm going to say it again. I said it yesterday. It's a broken record. Any brand that you're buying at the moment is model car like. So you won't go wrong. If you're not going to drive it, you're still paying, yes, you're paying a premium to have a slot car. But I collect model cars heavily, and I don't have as many as I did. And the amount of money that I spent on model cars that I can't even put around the track. Some of these BRM/Revos look better. And you just go, okay, okay, we're spending some good money. It's model car money, but it's got a double function. So this ain't going to end easy, guys. I'm going to try and don't burn your finger. This is the worst soldering iron. It doesn't get hot enough. Look at this. I can leave it there all day, go to the soccer and come back and it'll still be fire. So let's just get this one off. Or is it happening? Is it coming off? I think it is. And then I might go live later on, which will probably be bad for other people, and get these around the track. I'm just trying to underside heaters as well. Come on. Come on. You can come off. This is a shit soldering iron. It's definitely plugged in. It's just not getting hot enough. Now it is. All right, that's one. We're going to have some damage left on that, but that's okay. We can reattach. Oh, that's hot. Shit, that's hot. Now it's hot. So all I'm doing is pulling on the wire, separating it from it, because we're going to fix it. We're going to cut the ends anyways, and just trying to get it off, but it's starting to stink a bit. Come on. Underneath. It's coming. Can feel it. Here we go. Right, that's both done. Now the beauty with having a metal chassis and not really any nylon parts or plastics in the area, I'd rested it, actually was resting it on the chassis, and we know it's not going to give those. Yeah, I don't have any water down here. I don't have any water. Good tip, but I don't have any water. I'll clean them after the fact, but I don't have any water down here. And my soldering sponge has gone walkabouts. I lost it, I won't lie. So we've got these little guys now. Let me just quickly do some stripping. Not the stripping that you think. With my man fingers. There we go. So we've stripped it. Let's quickly tin it. And I'm going to check this board as well, because this is a different chip. Is it the same? Yeah, it shows you the positive side. So we don't know yet if that's going to be the right way, but it says positive. So let's see how that goes. Let me just put the TV on because I want some background noise. I do like some background noise. Some background noise going. And let's have a look at this. That's enough wire. That's enough wire. Yep. All right, let's get into it. Let's go. Let's do this. Oh, wrong way. Don't do that way, Trev. This way. Let's go. No, hold on. That's motor. Yeah, that's motor. Let's do motor first. No. Let's do braid first. We did. Don't change it up, Trev. Just don't crimp anywhere that you need to crimp. Cool. All right. So we know this one's very easy. We're going to go negative, negative, positive, positive. We're just reversing what we did before. No different. Let's quickly do some tinning. Tin, tin, tin. So we can get some on the tip. And you know if it's a good tip or not if the actual solder stays on it and it's sort of wanting to, it's not staying on the tip. That's so poor. That's so poor. Do you have a favourite kids? Stay in school. Actually, what I might do is I might bring my second arm in here quickly just so I can tin them easier. Okay, that's definitely enough on there. So we've got enough solder. Oh, it stinks. Now let's bring these together. When two become one. Can we get them over? Let's see if this works. Oh, hey, look at this. Look at this. I'm using mum. Look at me. I'm doing what I should be doing. There we go. We'll be able to get that on there. So let me just get these nice and close. It's a bit tricky. No. So I can't do it like that because they keep moving. Let's try the black one, hey? Let's get the black one done first. Hold on. I'm making this look very hard. That's all right, that's much better. So I've got a bit of push on that now. It's actually not heating it up. I think we've got an issue with the old soldering. So I'm going to take this off because I need to hold it there steadily. But I do think we've got an issue with the soldering iron. It's heating up and then it's cutting off. So I guess it's just going to be a power issue now. Now let's try it like this because I need to hold it there longer. Let's try it like this. This will be easier. Look at that, same as heating it up. Alright, done. That's one done. It's not really well done, but it's done. Let's do the other one. That's sort of... Oh no, they're pretty well done. Number 2, done. So we've got the chip on the guide. Now let's go down to the motor. Oh, back is killing me. All right, let's do this one quickly. So we believe positive is right-hand side of the board, which is red. Let's just separate these wires. And this one should be quicker just to put on. It should be a lot quicker because we should just be able to go straight onto that tab, heat the tab up, press down, and then Bob's your auntie, your uncle, whatever we're calling them these days. That's one. That's 2. That's both done. Perfect. All right, so 124 chip is done. Let's get that in spot. Yeah. Got 8 success. So that's the 124 chip. Same as before, but it's working on a bigger platform. I don't like the soldering of these 2 wires, but they're going to stay like that for now. We'll just quickly tape them up. But I hope we're going to get a better fit. We should get a better fit. Get out of there. Of course, the other wires are there for lights. If you do want to run lights on these, I wish they had lights from the start, but they don't. But now it's time just to put this into position. Now we are hitting like a capacitor or whatever that is, a chip. So again, it's just going to have to be put in there in sort of a weird and wonderful way. Let's just wind up those tires. I didn't mean tires, I meant let's tie up those wires. Am I having a stroke? Am I having a stroke? So let's just get those ones wound up nicely. Nicely does it. Again, this will be all done properly. Highly recommend clips, which was mentioned before. Clips are definitely the way to go. To get the clips. Let's put these ones together. Just going to put them in like that. And now it's just seating this the best we can. My main concern is that sensor. I don't care about the switch. The switch is going to be floating. We want to make sure that sensor is what's in place because that's what tells the lane changer that we want to change. That's the boss. So let's get that in there. Move these out of the way. I'm going to brace it from the bottom first. We don't really have to go underneath the car because we've got enough purchase on the chassis here to actually stick it to the chassis. But we'll just see how we go. I might just do a bit of a rollover because we're going to have to push that down as well. How's it looking? No, see, it's a bit far out. So hold on. Let me just snap that off. Now we need to adjust. I think that's good. Yeah, perfect. So that one actually, how close is it to the chassis? So we want to make sure that these wires are out of the way because they're going to pull out for sure. We have got a bit of rubbing on the front axle, but we don't care because the front axle can spin as much as it wants. Done. So that is now the digital 124. Let's put the body on because this is going to be the hardest one to sort out. Let's get the body on. Let's see if it all fits in there snuggy ruggy. I think it will. Let's put where's our screws? Let's put our screws back in order because we know one of them is buggered. So let's do that. Is this one going to fit? Oh, that's right. The other one's a bigger head. So let's try that. So we're not actually seating properly. Let's seat. There we go. Now it's in. So we'll go this one first. We'll put the dodgy screw in first because we've got the bigger head for that. So it must be a bigger screw. Isn't that odd? So that bigger head works perfectly with one screw, but the other two it won't. So we've got two different size screws on this chassis. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. In she goes. Nicely does it. Nicely does it. And then we'll put this one in. And there you go. The good thing about this chassis is we're not really affecting any of the body roll. The tape is coming through, but there is a digital, hopefully, a digital BRM, which we'll go check out soon. I'm going to put that aside. Let's bring in the Porsche again because we need to finish that off. Because this one has still got... We need to redo that. We need to redo the tape. Because we're going to run both of these cars. We want to make sure that they're both going to run. So readjusting it. That is definitely better. Yeah, that's heaps better. Yep, I'm happy to put the body back together now. Let's get all these little wires, tuck them in nicely. Maybe the big one was from the rear. Did I miss something? What do you mean by that, big man? And I'm going to try and let this guide, we did see before this guide was sitting far right. I'm going to try and push this forward, and then when I put the body on, hopefully the body pushes that down, so then we've got full control of the guide. So I'm going to put this, these are a really hard body to get on sometimes because of the rubber grommets. So I'm going to push it forward and then push the body forward down. And there you go, it's caught it. So we've now got a nice, it's going to be a little bit tight, but it should move under pressure. It should move under pressure. We'll see how that goes. It's not always going to be perfect, trust me. These weren't meant to be, you know, it's the chassis afterthought was for a digital chip. They didn't design the chassis to have a digital chip in its first instance, I wouldn't say so. But I'm so glad they did it because we want to be able to play with these cars on our Carrera or Scalextric track. The screw, maybe the, potentially, but it was from factory, so I've never opened that up. I have never opened that up. And if I'm honest, looking at it, there's no difference to the anodized holes, which normally there'll be an indication, probably 2 blue at the front and 1 red at the back, literally a red anodized, but they're all the same. So I've got a funny feeling a bigger screw, which they're probably testing on a proto, or they were, actually I should say, these are production runs as well. I get sent to me if it's before time, and this is before time. These are normally pre-production, so they're rare, but they're not your prototypes. But these might actually have testing done to them. They might be track run. So a lot of the cars that I received when I was in Australia from BRM were cars that were being R&D'd, which I actually like that. I'm glad I've got, well, I don't have them in my collection anymore, but it's really cool. Hopefully, like I said, when we've got the Camaro and the Mustang coming to the channel, and BRM sent me a message 2 days ago saying, Trav, we want to try and get it to you before release. just to get your hands on it. And I was like, yeah, thank you. We probably find that some of those will have their own quirks to them because they won't be the final product. So that's why I'm not making excuses for them. If you do find, I will email them and say, hey guys, I found a bigger screw. Just so they know if they are releasing it as a product, you guys aren't getting caught out. But I would say that it's not a problem with the normal stuff, with what you guys can get. So that's all. Vanish King, hello mates. Welcome. Hope you're having a great day. We're just putting together some slot cars, making sure we're ready to go digital. And I actually need to find some, if anyone's here got a link to those lane, I need to get some chips to put into my lane changes so we don't have, there's no flex in this body anymore. Oh, that's a shame. I can chop here. I probably will do that. I can chop here, but there is no flex in that body. The body's got no flex at all, which this will drive like a pig. So there we go. We've got those two cars. Wheel spin. Perfect. And perfect. There we have it. 2 digital chips installed. Let me quickly just check a message because I want to see if we're about to, if I'm going out or if I'm not going out. What am I reconnecting? Oh, something happened. Something happened to my stream then. So thank you guys. We will go live later on this afternoon. You can watch it back. I will be putting these around the track and then I'll do probably a YouTube video in the future on how to do this. It's not hard. You just saw what I did. So we're going to have the 132 and the 124 going around the digital track. Have a good day and I'll see you all in the next stream. Bye.